Hey guys, Thrasher here, and the Dragon Ball Legends anniversary is about 1.5 to 2 months out, so it's time we look at the state of the game again, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's talk about it right now. Okay, so let's jump right into it. First off, the good. There are a lot of good things going on in the game right now. One, there's a ton of content. I don't think anyone can argue that there's a lot of things that you can do, and it's reasonably varied. It's definitely more varied than it was a few months ago, and considerably more varied than when the game first came out, when there was really only one game type. Another thing that's good is while the meta has been pretty unified and everyone ran regen recently, it is starting to get a little more diversified with characters like Gohan and Gogeta, and those types of characters coming out and allowing you to run teams other than regen. It's still moving in that direction. I think we're going to continue to diversify the meta for at least the next few weeks, possibly next few months, before it moves back into that singular team again. So those are the good things. The bad things. I don't think it's a great idea that you have certain challenges or levels in the game that essentially have paywalls behind them. So there's at least one mission in the game right now where you have to have the red Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, or you pretty much can't beat it. It's possible, but just barely, and you have to get pretty lucky. Then there's another mission that is very close to impossible if you don't have the brand new Gogeta. So you have these missions where if you don't get lucky or you don't spend a ton of money, they're almost unbeatable. And then if you don't spend that money, you have to have a very specific team outside of that one character to beat it. So I'm not a huge fan of the paywall. I'm not a huge fan of the fact that they're hiding characters behind banners where you have to get these tickets and then you have to keep paying for tickets. Not a huge fan of that. And then the ugly. There's two big things here. One deals with monetization, like I just said, but specifically the ticket that you guys saw me use in a previous video where you buy it for $8, you can then summon on a banner. They reduce the rates on that. That's fine. I would categorize that under bad. I'm not a huge fan of that. The ugly part is the fact that they don't show you the rates until after you've paid money. I'm pretty sure that's against laws in at least some countries, and probably most. Now, whether or not you thought the $8 was a good deal, that's irrelevant. Some might say it's a good deal, some might say it wasn't just because they got a bad character. Fine. But the fact that you couldn't see the rates until you paid the money is not acceptable in my book. And I'm not going to say you need to go get refunds and go ask for refunds, but it's not something that we should allow in the future. So if they're going to refuse to show us the rates until after we pay, then it's time to start not paying in those cases. And then finally, the ugliest thing, PvP. The state of PvP right now is horrible to say the least. And I'm not saying the actual interaction between players where you have a specific team, they have a specific team. I'm not talking about the meta. I'm talking about the fact that they don't have dedicated servers to deal with cheaters, and they've come to a point now where if there's a disconnection, no matter who does it, both players are going to get penalized. And if you're someone like me who generally waits until closer to the end of the season to really make that push for 45 or 50 or whatever I decide I'm going to make a push for on that season, it's possible that I'll have 30, 40 matches in a single day and they're at low levels, so people will just quit because I'm of a higher skill level than someone who's, say, level 40 or level 41, and they decide it's easier just to disconnect than to forfeit. Well, if that happens to me 4, 5, 6 times in a short period of time, like it has in pretty much every previous season, I'm going to get a temp ban. And if it happens enough, I could get a permanent ban for at least that season, which means that I'm going to lose everything because they don't have dedicated servers. I've already seen a few people that are getting full one-day bans, and I've seen a couple on Reddit that say they got permanent bans, but I can't verify the permanent bans. I do know the single-day bans have actually happened to people that I've talked to, and they've showed me. And I just want to reiterate, these are innocent people who are simply beating their opponents so their opponent disconnected, or their opponent cheated and disconnected. Either way, it makes no difference. The innocent player is going to get penalized no matter what, and you're going to start getting these short bans that turn into long bans, that turn into a full season ban, which is absolutely ridiculous. They need to have dedicated servers, and at the very least, they need to roll back this current penalty system because it's absolutely ridiculous, and there's a lot of casualties at this point. So I'm actually pretty scared to even do PvP this season because I feel like I think I'm like 36 or 37 right now, and I feel like until at least 42 or 43, I kind of need to sandbag and let these people beat up on me a little bit, because if I don't and I just absolutely destroy them and they disconnect, I'm going to get penalized, which is ridiculous. It's not the way you should play this game, and it's not the way you should feel when you're playing this game. You're scared that you're going to get banned for something that you didn't do. So if you've run into an issue like that, make sure to post it on the Dragon Ball Legends Reddit. Make sure to send messages to the Dragon Ball Legends official Twitter account. They are paying attention there. Bandai does have an actual form where you can submit support tickets. It hasn't been super responsive from all the times that I've used it, but just hit them up anywhere you can. Let them know that this is not acceptable and it needs to be changed. And that's pretty much all I have for this video. If you guys think I missed anything, if you disagree with anything I said, or you agree with all the PvP stuff, throw it down below and let's talk about it. And if you like this content, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.